Larry, this time 2 years ago, your Aussie shares were over $12. Now they're sitting around 54 Aussie cents. What would you say to shareholders who might be nursing very painful losses and might be getting impatient? And are you committed to staying here in Australia?
Look, I stand alongside shareholders as one of large shareholders of Zip too, who have really also enjoyed the highs and suffered the lows. But I think what you should know, it's our 10th birthday this year in June. So we have been here for an incredibly long time, and we remain committed as ever. It's myself, Peter, a lot of the founding team, really driving these outcomes. Why? We're passionate about the stuff. We've got some of the best team, both in ANZ and the US. We have secular trends that are driving BNPL, which really is the credit card of tomorrow for the customer of tomorrow, and large addressable markets. So, for us, share markets are, as Warren Buffett says, a voting machine in the short term and a weighing machine in the long term. We are very focused on the fundamentals of the business, and hopefully have proven to you that we have the endurance to keep going.
Larry, we've talked a lot about BNPL, that the secular trends aside, there's also increased competition and a credit cycle that could be absolutely painful, especially when you're talking about the US macroeconomic context, the excessive amounts of debt that consumers there are taking on. Does it worry you? Because you've been around for 10 years, but we've never seen this kind of a cycle within those 10 years in terms of the tightening liquidity, the pressures on credit, the pressures on debt. Do you feel that even if you do this restructuring, there is a chance that even your best efforts might run into some pretty steep resistance when it comes to this BNPL industry?
We believe we have a pretty resilient business model. I think if you just look at the results from the last half, where we saw our volume grow at about $5 billion, revenue actually expanded at a much faster clip, and we were able to grow revenue margins. Given our two-sided revenue model, we were able to pass on some of the increase in interest costs across merchant and partners. The other big call out I think you'll see is huge result on the improvements in credit performance, where we dropped about 50 basis points over the year. And so hopefully what we're demonstrating to market is an ability to move up and down the cycle, given the fast repayment cycles of short-term duration installments. You must remember, pay in full comes back over 6 weeks. So your ability to adjust approvals and adjust portfolio through altering our credit parameters. And we've done that. As a result, we did temper some growth over in the US, but it's driven profitable outcomes. And I think furthermore, we tend to skew, about that 35-year-old customer who tends to have slightly younger than the average credit card customer, but also has a much more diverse FICO. They're choosing to use us over other forms of payments, and we're helping them with discretionary spend and everyday spend. So we're a meaningful part to this business, and I think that really puts us in very good stead as we enter the market. We're exiting the US at about a 1.5% credit loss, and all the tools to really drive it through. And so what we'd argue is we're probably recession-proof. We're helping customers budget and really manage cash flow in this environment, which, might I add, still has pretty high employment across the board.